Composition in our images, or the lack of it, is mentioned by photographic judges more than any other subject. But why should that be? Well, it's because composition is so important to the impact and success of our images. It's also one of the easiest rules in photography to learn, which does beg the question, if it's so easy, why do we get it wrong so often? Now, I do have a couple of ideas of why, and maybe what we can do about it to help matters along, but we'll come back to that a little later. A great photographic subject can be spoilt if the composition is not right. But we can often take an ordinary everyday subject and use just a little thought and some good composition, and it does enhance the subject. When you look through the viewfinder of your camera, imagine that your image is divided into 9 equal segments. Now, many people will see this shape as the old game of noughts and crosses. Here we have the rule of thirds, which states that you should position the most important parts of your image along these lines, the horizontal and vertical, or at the points where they intersect. Good composition adds balance, interest and appeal to our images. It is only a rule though, and in the right conditions that rule can be broken. However, in the vast majority of cases, the basic rule of thirds composition is going to be working in your favour, so don't be too quick to discard it. Some cameras will display a rule of thirds grid over the LCD screen, or in the viewfinder to help us to compose our images. And modern image editing programs like Photoshop, Lightroom and Elements will display the rule of thirds grid to help us maintain our composition while cropping an image. Let's take a look first at this image of a cormorant. It's well exposed and it's sharp, but placing the main subject in the centre of the frame is not making any use of the rule of thirds. A far better composition for this bird is to place the bird on the left, allowing it to effectively look into the picture space to our right. Now, it's all very well for us to do this in our image editor when we crop an image, and it's far better done here than not at all. But the correct time to compose your shot is in the viewfinder before you press the shutter button. Otherwise, you have to crop away pixels, and you've paid quite a bit of money to capture those. Take a look at this example. We have a good subject and we have some nice atmospheric conditions as well, but the tower is right in the centre of the frame, which lacks composition. The tower needs to be placed onto one of those vertical lines. Recomposing this shot has many advantages. Composition is good in relation to the tower and the vertical line, but also in relation to that bottom horizontal line too. In addition, we have balance on the left with the road leading through the town to the tower, and also the sweep of the tree line from the right, which crosses nicely on the upper left intersecting lines. It's just better all round. As you can see from just a couple of examples, considering composition is fairly simple, and it has a lot of upsides. So why do we get this wrong a lot of the time? Well, one reason may be that we position the focus mark in the viewfinder of our camera over the subject and then forget to keep a light pressure on the shutter button to hold that focus while we recompose the shot. Now, most cameras will allow you to change the position of these focus points to position them over to the left or the right in your viewfinder to aid composition. Now, the controls to do this are usually done with a button press and a turning of a function wheel on the camera body. It's designed to be easy, so you can actually achieve this without taking the camera from your eye. This is a setting on your camera that you really should make yourself familiar with. But a light pressure on that shutter button will hold focus while you recompose the shot. Now, if we accept that perhaps one of the causes of getting the composition wrong is due to us maintaining that focus point in the center of the frame, then there is another alternative open to many SLR users. Why not turn off the autofocus on the shutter button? Yes, you can do that using your custom functions with many digital SLRs. Then we can focus the camera from the AF on button on the back of the camera. Now this back focus button is designed to be easily found with our thumb. Now once you gain focus, you can recompose and wait as long as you like, and we don't have to keep that pressure on the shutter button at all, because when we fire the shutter button, we're not refocusing the camera. So are there any disadvantages to make this change with our camera? Well, not really, but there are a couple of things you may want to bear in mind. Firstly, you're probably going to need your camera's manual to find the setting to turn off the autofocus on the shutter button. So all the shutter button does is fires the camera. Secondly, it will take you a few days before you become accustomed to focusing in a slightly different way. Instead of using the shutter button, your thumb is going to fall nicely on that focus button on the back, and you need to focus from that point. But that aside, I find the back focus button works much better, and both my SLRs are set to this option permanently. So composition is raised by judges at every single competition I think I've ever been to, so it makes sense that it's one of the first things we should address.